Hello there and welcome back to a France who, no, not a France, a Byzantium who's currently in heaps of trouble. France just broke their alliance with us. It is tempting to believe that they will actually declare war on us. I don't think they have a casus belli though, which should save me for some time here. Let's see here, casus belli. Conquest casus belli on whom? Spain, Genoa, Sardinia, Savoy, Friesland, Liege. They don't actually have a casus belli on us, which is great. So potentially, if we vassalize Genoa and Savoy, we'll have to keep them. We'll have to keep them as vassals for quite a while. That is also, this could potentially be a very scary thing, that we will be getting that province directly into our empire. However, there are some steps we can take to save my ass here. A lot of things happen. Insult from Bavaria. Wow. So once I don't have Big Brother France looking after me, everyone wants to screw me over. But at least Bohemia will provide me with some sort of comfort. Also, I can potentially get these guys over on the positive again. I hope for at least Sardinia, revolt in Parma. Yeah, we'll have to see how how we'll deal with this. But for now, we are in, as I said, a very tight spot. We will be trying to get Poland up on the positive side again. Hopefully, we can get ourselves an alliance with them again. And apparently, the insults are just coming from everywhere now. So France was basically the sole thing that was keeping half the world at bay. So that's kind of bad. Spain, France still nice to me. England, no. Bohemia though does have some troops, so that's good. Muscovy, if I can just ally with Poland too, then I'll be able to get some things going here. They're actually in negotiation against me right now, but it doesn't really matter that much. The problem now is that they're actually also broken their alliance with France, so that means that we can now get ourselves going pretty well if we can just get ourselves back on the friend, or that we can get friends again. Is basically what I'm trying to say here. We'll have to see how that plan works out. As of now, we have no idea if it will work out. I can only hope. So yeah, we'll be sitting by and see. Also, we most likely try to cause some troubles for the Ottomans, although I can't actually promise anything. So we'll have to see how this actually turns out. But for right now, we are basically stuck between a rock and 2 or 3 hard places. So we'll see how this turns out. At least this will help me a little bit. We now have military tech advance with combat width increased by 2, infantry fire by 0.5. We can now build a tenile. No idea what that is. But even so, we are getting at least some upgrades here. Next time we'll get land morale +1. That'll be pretty damn important. We're actually 1 tech level above France right now, so we can get the next level of morale before France. I think we can potentially beat them in battle, but it all basically depends on how things work out. So going after the Ottomans now, it's actually kind of tempting to just try. It could potentially screw me over, but if it actually works out and I get things going, then we'll basically be in a pretty sweet position. If I were to declare war on you guys now, who would join me? Bohemia would join me, Muscovy would join me, and Muscovy has a border with Crimea, and with their, what do we have, 15, 18, 22, a bunch of vassals too. They can go down to northern side here, and then they can screw over Ottomans from there. Also, if Poland does give any military accesses, and I am actually capable of blocking the Sea of Marmara here, then we would basically be in the best position possible. It would be a little bit scary though in terms of the Ottoman fleets. So if we can catch those fleets on basically unawares out here, we would be doing very good for ourselves by doing that. But with that said, now we will be trying to place troops in positions where they can try and get the upper hand, I dare say, against the Ottomans, and thus we can some way or another make things work. I also believe the stacking what is it called? Stacking negative or minus from the last game is gone. So we'll be building some more galleasses to simply try and help ourselves out here. I think I'm building 3, 6, 14 more. So that should help quite a lot. The only thing I have to make sure of is that they don't actually have any troops here. 9,000 is fine. Eradicating them would potentially be, wow, but you guys are on the wrong side of the border here. So once these guys, we'll also have to wait, of course, for these guys to actually switch sides. hopefully with rebel of some kind. Or even if there's just 27,000 men here, we could potentially just screw those over, helping that would actually help both myself and Muscovy, because if Muscovy can kill off those troops and I only have to worry about these, then that would help me out quite a lot. Hungary can then siege Ottoman lands up here. So yeah, there's a lot of positive things by attacking the Ottomans, but for now we'll wait just for a little longer, try to get the rest of the fleet rebuilt, and also try to lure these guys over to the other side of the Sea of Marmara. So we'll see how it turns out. My guy finally died. I believe it was about closer to 70 than it was to his early 60s, so that's kind of good. That we didn't get that stability drop in the middle of a war. He's actually general, so he could potentially have died in the battle, and then I would have 2 stability hit. But that doesn't really matter. We have very good guys now. We have a 613 now, who is fairly good at administrative. Is actually what we need, and military is probably also what we need. So this guy will be important once he actually comes to rises to the throne. Unfortunately, the guy who currently took it had a weak claim, so it hurts my my legitimacy quite a lot. Along with the unlawful imperial territory, which we're currently coring, I believe. Yeah, with 36.6% on the way. This guy is actually also pretty old, age 43. This guy is 54. So there'll probably be a quick succession of 2, 3, 4 rulers now. But with that said, what we will be doing now is putting everything, maintenance, both army and fleet, back to full, get our morale up as high as possible, and then we will most likely declare war on the Ottomans here. We'll most likely place our army in Macedonia. Hopefully the Ottomans will march on it, and then we can have these guys drop in and help. And then we'll simply drop our guys off in Constantinople, and that way we should be able to get things going. What I will be doing, however, is hire a... I'll actually turn that guy into general. He's not that good. We will be hiring a admiral, just to try and boost our chances in the event that we meet the annoying Ottoman generals first, and we'll also just place our fleet here. Apparently, as far as I could see, the mercantilism is right. We will say it is right, and we'll place that guy. Where were he? I have no idea. We'll have him. We'll have him collect from trade in Tunis, I guess, and. Let's see, I know the 27,000 men guys are still on the right side for them. But still, we'll go ahead, declare war here. Hopefully we can drag in those... Bohemia won't actually join in, but that doesn't really matter. They don't really have that many men that it would actually care. Livonia, they wouldn't have that many men, so it wouldn't actually have that much. But still, these guys will have, what, about 20,000 men extra to help me with. And the Ottoman fleet... Much of the Ottoman fleet is actually parked here too, so potentially I could always try and make things work out that way. But for now, we'll take a chance here. We'll go for a holy war, and we'll be calling in the other guys. As I said, I have no idea if this will actually work out. It could potentially be as the other war was, basically a screw me war, more or less. But hopefully I can now use this war to my advantage, get ourselves in a better position, and hopefully that will be what will happen. Bulgaria should give me a military access, so that I can place my troops over here. I think it's closer to... Yeah. Now we'll actually have to see how this actually turns out here. I'm pretty sure that Muscovy joined in, and with them they have Pskov, and that's basically it. But even so, those troops will help out pretty much, and if I can just get rid of these 2 stacks, that should potentially put me in the driver's seat to some extent. Those guys are fairly uncertain if they should attack or not. So I'll go ahead and wipe this 8,000 man army if I can, because I have a feeling right now that it's just luring me away. But even so, we should be able to defeat it. -3 crossing penalty, it seems. So yeah, not too great that one either. But these guys are... Apparently my navy has been crushed. I apparently did not put my shock 6 on a fleet guy. Wow. And apparently they don't really have that many galleys, but even so they're crushing my navy here. And that hurts quite a lot. mostly due to the fact that I forgot to put a guy in charge, and that'll now even more hurt once this guy actually get over the Sea of Marmara. But hopefully the Muscovy guys can cause them at least some issues. They have 27,000 men running around in Muscovy itself, so potentially that could be of assistance to me, or help, as it were. But for now we'll have to repair that fleet, and apparently I can also focus on admin tech, which should help me my income a little bit. But we'll just try and wait here, try and see if they will join the battle. And apparently my guys are still going into... I had no what's its name? I had no gains to actually attrition before my armies actually went up and stand in my way, more or less. Let's see, where are you guys going? You're going to Achaia. There's no other place you can go. We'll be moving your guys down there as well. If I can just wipe that army. Apparently they didn't go to Achaia. But even so, I should win that battle. We simply have too many men against them. And if I then can block the strait, meet them in Constantinople, then I'm pretty sure that I will be victorious here. Yes, they can't actually go over, and they're out of morale, but we won't actually get there before the changing of the month, so they'll actually get morale back. But even so, they should be wiped, I would dare say. No, of course not. These are Ottomans we're dealing with here. They're a lucky nation. Can I hide somewhere, please? Nope. So we'll be sending at least the army that has no mercs. We'll be sending that one home, and we'll be keeping this one in Macedonia, I think. Hopefully we'll be able to make some sort of gain from it. But I'm a little bit surprised that they have that good of a naval general, and that he's currently screwing me is also not help. Let me get this straight. You're actually fleeing into my lands. You're fleeing through my lands into... Just name one thing here that makes sense. Just one. Seriously, this is just annoying. The fact that they, first of all, can flee through my lands, and second of all, don't actually suffer any attrition by doing so is horrible. I dare say that if an enemy army actually ran through your lands, at least your local populace won't actually be supplying them with any food or anything like that, so they should at least get some attrition by running through my lands. But apparently they are not, and apparently we are gaining war score here thanks to basically the Muscovites in the east. Can I actually demand that you return in the course? No. But if I get the so they can actually return some course, I'll probably go for something like this. And if I get that going, then I'm pretty sure I can hurt the Ottomans at least a little bit, if not more. So yeah, we'll have to try and keep things under control. It'll be a little bit interesting to see how this actually turns out, especially with that flee that the Ottomans did. And still, I'm still gaining attrition thanks to the annoying army that's just stuck to me and won't actually do anything else. There we have them, the Ottomans. And they actually fled pretty damn fast there. Wait a minute. Yeah, well. Wait, I'll have you guys wait, and hope you guys will attack, you guys will wait. I can actually do this. Yeah, we're in the mountain, and of course they got... we simply got a -1 for crossing, but even so we're losing far too many men. As you can see, it's simply ridiculous. And apparently the Ottomans are doing some gains against the... yeah, we lost 13,000 versus them losing, what, less than 3,000? I have no idea what actually happening here. But even so, the mechanics doesn't make that much sense anymore. Because the fact that the Ottomans can simply run around with their huge army without even suffering any attrition, anything at all in my lands, doesn't make any sense. Sure enough, I should actually have taken the defensive idea to screw them over like that. But it still doesn't make any sense that these guys are running around being a total annoyance and not having anything to suffer for it. They are basically just doing whatever they want. And also Muscovy have apparently withdrawn from the battle, which should potentially mean that the Ottomans are going to come full force over here. So yeah, I have no idea how this actually works out, but it seems that the Ottoman as a lucky nation, and also seriously learn attrition rules. Doesn't help that you guys are giving me tons of attrition. It seriously doesn't. Apparently my guys are way too slow to actually get their asses away from there. That crossing penalty didn't actually... It didn't cost them anything at all. And thus I should potentially just try and get my ass out of this war. And let's see here. If I were to offer you to concede defeat, too little. And how much? 38. So basically to pay you out of this I'll have to give you my entire treasury and a little bit more. But that's basically what I will have to do, because, well, Muscovites over here sieging won't really help the Ottomans. Running in my lands will still be an annoyance, but I think I'll keep it going a little bit longer and see what happens. The Ottomans have 60,000 men fleet, or 60 ship fleet here standing. So yeah, we'll have to see how this turns out. But apparently I can almost get a deal with the Poles if I get things going afterwards. So that's good at least. We'll also be trying to improve our relations with France a little bit more. I'll simply keep this war going for a little bit longer to see if we can actually gain anything from it. I kind of doubt so. The Ottomans are simply too annoying, too strong. I should potentially just have gone for a 40 ships of light fleet, but we'll have to see how this turns out. As it's now, we're losing pretty substantially. The French are basically, I think, tempted to attack me. So we'll have to see how this, in the end, turns out. Of course, the bad things continue. A comet has been sighted, which basically gives me a stability drop. I will boost it up to, I think, +1 though. It's only 65 a point. Even so, we'll wait for these Ottoman armies to actually spread out, and we'll probably try and hunt them down again. If we can get the superiority up going again, we'll be doing some pretty substantial things there. Plus 3% from 28 battles. Apparently the fact that these guys were supposed to cling to my armies, update, apparently my Styrian vassal didn't actually quite get that, it seems, as he just ran himself into the enemy and got himself killed off. So yeah, there's a lot of people on the forums who are applauding that one, not me however, since it's not completely working, this plan of theirs. Sure enough, the vassals cling to me, but that's the fact. I can't actually tell them to not cling to this army, take another one, because that's the army that I would be using in battle. So in return, they simply cling to just one army, which causes me a lot of. I'm just simply getting mad because of it. That's all there is to it. Nothing more. I'm just getting pissed because, well, they have, in most cases, at least in wars where you kind of wanted to stick to your armies, or just one army, so you can sacrifice your vassals in a... Yeah, sure, it's not plausible, too plausible at least, but I should at least be able to sacrifice, to some extent, my vassals' war exhaustion, my vassals' men. It's not like they are completely on their own. But yeah, I will be trying to hunt down these armies. We'll see if a 12,000 men of mercenary army can do any damage to them. I kind of doubt it, but I'll at least try and see what happens. I've decided to just give up. As you can see, the Muscovites, I actually thought they would be a little bit clever than that, but apparently the Ottomans sent a 30,000 man army through the Polish lands, surprised them from behind, and now that army is doing a forced march and killing everything in sight. And the Muscovites haven't actually done anything against it, which basically means that the AI still screws up this for me, and I basically have lost because of that. What I can do, however, is try to screw over the Ottomans a little bit, but I have a feeling that it won't really help. So we'll be making some sort of peace deal here. I think this will be, well, go for that. I'll be getting back this one, Thames, and I'll be giving them a bunch of money, but other than that, it's basically just... straightforward. I'll also be giving up my deals with Muscovy, because apparently they didn't really help that much. So yeah, I know I sound bitter, I know I sound mad, like I don't understand how the game works, but even so, the Ottomans to some extent are simply a little bit too overpowered for me here, especially in this case. Their armies can virtually crush me. Galleys should have an advantage in the Sea of Marmara, not true. There is no scaling in terms of fleet apparently anymore. You can add as much as you want. So apparently what I need to do is build a 2,000 fleet of galleys and then simply screw them over with that. But yeah, as I'm bitter, as I'm mad, of course I just lost a war, and I worsened my position in terms of trying to screw over France later on. So why wouldn't I be mad? I simply gave myself a kick in the ass, and I have to deal with the Ottomans sooner or later. Apparently dealing with them early game is the smartest thing to do. Still, I try to do what would be a little bit more plausible than building a fleet and taking 40,000 loans, which is emigrating to somewhere else. Probably not that plausible when you think about it, but even so, at least I gave it a try. So with that said, we will be trying to get ourselves a deal now with Poland, and apparently, as you can see here, I can get myself a deal. The only real issue here is this one, a rival. 1 minute. Have I set? Yeah, I'll actually set them as a rival. We'll remove that one and we'll place whom instead. We don't want to place France. We'll simply keep that spot open. And yeah, hopefully that'll allow me to get Poland on the good side. They're no longer my rival, so no, they're not a rival anymore. Bohemia broke their alliance. So yeah, apparently the rival thing will keep on going for a while. So we'll see how that turns out. That's also kind of annoying that I can't actually ally Poland because I hate them when I clearly don't. I believe I thought I pressed remove, but apparently I didn't. So that's my bad. But even so, allying Poland now. We'll see. Maybe we can screw over Ottomans sometime else. But for now, we'll have to sit on the sidelines and do a little bit of thinking. Hopefully, it can get Milan onto. Wow, it will take a while to actually be able to annex them. But even so, I'll have to do a little bit of thinking. I'll have to try to come back. As I said, I still have plenty of time. The only problem will be the Ottomans, to deal with them. I most likely will have to go after Tripoli or someone, Tunisia even. We'll have to see, consider it. Sardinia is potentially now becoming more and more of a target. No, they're not. They're guaranteed by France still. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that turns out. The Ottomans still have pretty good monarchs, not really having any issues whatsoever. So, yeah, we'll have to reconsider. Second loss against the Ottomans. Can't really beat them. I guess I'll have to try and westernize, get some better troops during the next 100 years, and then go off them after that. Well, at least hope that some rebels can break them. Poland inheriting Lithuania will probably be bad for me. They'll probably take me as a serious troublemaker then. But at least the apparently, yeah, the union will end, of course. So what we'll be doing then with the last one is improving relations with Lithuania, so I can try and ally both. But this will be the end of this episode. It's been a little bit longer than the other ones. I apologize. We tried to mess with the Ottomans, so I thought I'd just record the entire thing under one. And unfortunately, we once again lost. So hopefully, I can turn the bad trend in the third war. But it's too bad. As I said, I'll see you around next time. I hope you have enjoyed this, and please leave a comment, praise, criticism, tell me how stupid I am in the war against the Ottomans so far. Anything you feel like, I'll see you around, as I said, next time. Bye.